Okay. Oh, gotta get my headphones on. Get the headphones on. Okay. Wasn't ready to start here. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and try another bit here. So, go ahead and back off the band. Thanks, band. Sounding good as usual. So, when we left off last time, I was talking about the things that I have that were my dad's that I managed to latch onto after he died. And one of the things that I always had my eye on as a kid, and I knew that my dad made this, was this little copper box, and it's a hammered copper box. You can see, inside. And my understanding of this box is it probably was made either when he was in high school and took a metal shop class, or while he was in the Air Force and was studying to be a sheet metal technician. And so I always appreciated this. So I'm anticipating that this was probably made in the late 40s-ish to the early 50s. And the interesting thing about this is whenever I would see this little box would be full of old drill bits. And I don't know if they were worn out drill bits or whatever, but it was full of drill bits. And so it had kind of relegated itself to my dad's tool chest in the garage and was hidden there for many, many, many years. Not getting the attention that it deserved. Like I said, I always enjoyed looking at this box because I thought it was unique. I mean, looking at how he crafted it, how it was all, the metal is all finely cut and finely folded. And I'm sure in each of these folds, he did a soldering job and everything fit just perfect on it. So when he died, so I've had this like 37 years now. When he died, I immediately latched onto it because I saw it as a treasure, not as a holder for old tool bits. And so with my dad's skills of making things with his hands, I managed to, in about the 8th grade, start taking wood shop. And I loved wood shop. And in that wood shop class, I learned to make, the normal little things that you make in a wood shop class. And so this was one of my little projects, and I it's not dated, and the way it's marked here on the bottom with my name, this could have either been 8th grade or 10th grade, because I didn't have wood shop when I was a freshman in high school, the high school that I was at. For some reason, I didn't enroll in it, and I should have. So this little box here was all completely made. I even turned the knobs on it. So this little box here is a good 55, 60 years old, and I've hung on to it. I made it and gave it to my mother, and she hung on to it, so I've still got it. One of the things that I made in the 8th grade that I always loved was this little cannon. And I made every bit of this cannon myself. My woodshop teacher had what was the original of this that I saw, and the barrel itself on his cannon was actually turned out of metal. And so we weren't doing metal, so I had to turn it out of wood. So I made this barrel on here entirely on the lathe. And then I wish I still had the drawings that I would have had to have used to make this, but those are long gone if they even made it past the 8th grade. But I made this little cannon. I made the little wheels on it and everything, and I've kept it on my desk or in my on top of my dresser since about 1966, I'm guessing. And so it's that old. So that's one of my treasures from my youth that I made with skills that I learned from my dad. One of the other things that I made, and I actually made it for my parents as a candy dish. And so I learned how to put these layers together and turn this on a lathe. So probably in my junior or senior year of high school, which would have been 1970 or 71, I made this bowl by turning it on the lathe. And now I usually keep it in my dresser, and it becomes the catch-all. My dad would have all of his change in his watch and his wallet and whatever else that he had when I recovered it from him after he died. Had his daily things that he would put in here. Like I said, watch, comb, wallet, whatever, keys. And I can see the bottom on it is pretty pitted and scuffed up. So either from him or me, it really shows the use. And so, like I said, it was originally a candy dish, and it became my dad's catch-all in his vanity. One of the things that I also made, and I've got another a larger one of these that I made and that I gave to my mother, and I've got a towel rack for paper towels I keep in the garage, and I've got a magazine rack, and I've got a little footstool and what have you. But one of the prize items that I made, and I made it for my mom, and I'm guessing it was probably in my senior year in high school. She wanted a jewelry box, and I knew that she liked this darker wood, this walnut, and I believe at that time my parents had a bedroom set that was walnut, so I knew that would go well. The thing feels like it weighs 15 or 20 pounds. Walnut is very heavy, but I made this, for my youth, 17 years old, the best quality that I could muster at that time, and the fronts on the drawers and the sides are all solid wood, but somewhere along the line, instead of using solid wood, I can see here that it looks like I used a plywood of some sort. So it's either something that we had in the wood shop or that I was able to scrounge from home, because my dad was always doing projects, and so it's very, very possible that the slats in between the inside of this and the back itself was made from 1/4-inch plywood that my dad had at home. And so somewhere along the line, I got these nice little pulls. Unfortunately, one of them has come apart. And I don't know if I think I kept it. It's probably in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. And one of them broke off. It wore off. So I don't know if I can find a replacement for that, but I need a replacement. But you can see, I did the stand that it sits on, and then of course the back is just plywood. And I don't believe I marked it with a date. I don't even see my name on it. I need to do that. But this was probably made between 1970 and 1971. So my mom used this. I remember sitting on her dresser for many, many years, and she used it, and she loved it. And I was very proud to see it on her dresser, that she loved it, and she got a lot of use out of it. So I inherited some of my skills for my handiwork, wood shop, and what have you. I never took a metal shop from my dad, and I'm proud of that. He also did a lot of drawing and stuff. There are things that he would make. And so when I was in junior high, so when I took my first drawing class, and then in high school throughout, I took several drafting, engineering, and architectural related drawing classes. Back in the day when things were done by hand, I still have all of that equipment, and it brings back a lot of memories. So that's my capture today, starting with my dad's little copper box. I know we talked about his shotgun, we talked about his harmonica, and his little compass that I loved. So until next time, we'll come up with something else that I can put together for you. So thank you.